Hey guys, T-Star here. So, Danny Phantom was a pretty good series overall, as we learned from my last video, and has many great episodes. But like most, if not all shows, it has a few stinkers. Today, we will be looking over said stinkers and demonstrate which ones were the absolute worst in the show. And we will also be doing a top 20 best Danny Phantom episodes video after this one, so stay tuned for that. Since I don't like long intros, let's just get right into it.
Number 5.
In the number 5 spot, we have Masters of All Time. This one is low on the list because, unlike the other episodes on here, it actually did have a good idea and moral for it. It just had really bad execution. I like the idea of an episode where Danny doesn't appreciate his not normal parents and learns to accept their past, since it could have been a lot different. But this one does have a lot of issues. Like how the new timeline Danny goes to is treated like the new normal, and Clockwork would have to reset everything. Vlad's still hating Jack, even though he has no reason to in this reality. Or how Jack had the same ecto-acne that Tucker, Sam, and Vlad had in the original timeline, and being fine having it all those years, while those three are dying from it. Also, one thing I didn't mention in the original review is the design of Jack Plasmius. Why is his hair black, and why does he have a beard? It makes sense for Vlad Plasmius because Vlad Masters has white hair, and he also has a beard. And Danny's hair color also changes when he transforms. So why does Jack look like that? He doesn't have a beard, and he already has black hair. This is something I think would look way better on him. I know it's not the best edit, but something like that I think would be a lot more fitting for him.
Number 4.
Hey, you want an episode where the Men in Black parodies from the $1 Million Ghost are the bad guys? There's hardly any action, and there's a soap opera feel to it? No? Well, too bad, because they made an episode just like that, and it's double crossed my heart. This is an episode that got worse the more I thought about it. When I first saw it for the first time in years while working on the Season 2 video, I didn't think much of it, but then I noticed more problems and hated the tone of it when I watched it again. I also really hate Tucker in this episode. He's way more annoying than usual. I know it's for plot reasons, as Gregor gets annoyed and blows his cover, but you can do it without annoying the audience. Now, these next two on the list, I had a hard time deciding which one is worse, and I still honestly do, so just consider these interchangeable, meaning I could put them in either order.
Number 3.
Hey, you want another episode of the guys in white being the bad guys with hardly any action? No. Well, too bad, because Living Large exists. Yeah, maybe they should have just abandoned that idea after Double Cross My Heart, because Living Large is terrible. I knew I was going to hate this episode when I rewatched it for the first time in years. Danny becomes a rich snob and blows off his friends, even though this episode is in Season 3, way after he learned this lesson in Attack of the Killer Garage Sale. You'd think he definitely would have at least learned this after Memory Blank. The guys in white want to blow up the ghost zone and take way too long to figure out a very simple password. The animation is lazy, it has too many plot conveniences, and the ending is really stupid. Just an episode that didn't need to exist.
Number 2.
King Tuck might be the most negative episode of the whole show. Tucker gets treated like garbage at first for no reason. He then treats his mummy ghost servant like garbage, even before getting the scepter. He later learns not to abuse his power, that he was being a jerk, and Danny and Sam seem to learn their lesson at first, but then get annoyed easily when Tucker says a few things and leave. Then Paulina and Star want to beat him up after they think he called them handmaidens. Tucker could have just said he wasn't talking to them, but no, we need a stupid ending. They also keep hammering the joke of nobody listens to Tucker. I've heard Nickelodeon hardly ever airs this episode, and I can easily see why.
Number 1.
The obvious worst episode of the whole show, sadly, is the series finale, Phantom Planet. I think the idea they suggested at the beginning where Vlad was going to make ectoranium weapons to take over the ghost zone would have been a good idea, and a far better idea than what they did end up doing, but we end up with an extremely rushed and lazy episode. This episode feels like two episodes that just don't mesh well together. I'd say it's kind of like if Public Enemies was the first part of this episode, then Living Large was the second part. The first half is mostly the Masters Blasters stuff, which I do think would have been a good idea for a 22-minute episode, but not like this. Then the second part is the Disasteroid stuff. Also throw in a stupid idea of Danny basically almost letting Vlad win by giving up his powers, even though he said earlier if Masters Blasters is being funded by Vlad, then they must be up to no good. The detail moments like the wide-angle shot of almost every single ghost and freak show for some reason Danny encountered in the series. This episode is lazy, rushed, forced, badly written, badly built up, and the fans of the show deserve a way better ending than this. That's why it's number 1. And that's all I got for the top 5 worst Danny Phantom episodes. Join me next time for a much more positive video where I discuss my top 20 best Danny Phantom episodes. So you guys get to see some episodes that didn't make my top list for seasons 1 through 3. Thank you for watching, and take care.